Hello, my name is Zariana Omalchuk. I'm CMO Chief Marketing Officer in PSV Game Studio. I'm almost 9 years on this area. I work with the marketing, with the user acquisition and monetization part. PSV is the quite big company. We were based in Ukraine when we started this business, and since 2014 we moved to Cyprus. Our founders moved to Cyprus with about 20 workers, and now we have 2 offices in Cyprus. Of course, in Ukraine we still keep 1 office. We used to have 3 of them, but just 1 is still work. And in general, we have about 150 people who are in our team, and they are worldwide. So in general, we have about 500 apps. If we're talking about total, we divide them for kids and non-kids games. So first, we start as the kids game studio. We were founded in 2014, and it was really nice story because the founder liked kids game, and we started to build our own kids game apps. And we start to work with the different brands like Masha and the Beer, LOL, Vlad and Nikki, and so on. And then we have our own brand, which is called Hippo. You can find us as well. We have about 300 kids game and about 100 non-kids game apps. I've checked the information before today, and if we've grown so fast, right now we do the user acquisition for 100 apps, but it's like if we're talking about general, if we're talking about the most stronger user acquisition, how we do the huge amount of numbers to attract the new customers, it's about 40-45 different apps. So let me tell you how we start to do the publishing for us and how we attract the studios. So it was quite interesting story. When we built Clever solution as our mediation part, our customers were asking us how we can help them to attract new users, because we did the monetization part pretty well for them. They were asking how to do the marketing and so on. So we started to do the publishing 1.5 years ago, and right now we work with about 20 different gaming studios who came to us, and we do the whole marketing for them and do the user acquisition part. We help with the monetization part as well. So basically before we start to work with the new studio, we check the whole in-game metrics and then run small user acquisition tests. Of course, a lot of publishers, a lot of small studios, single game developers came to us, and we need to check everything in properly. And we've built our own main KPIs for those games who wants to be published with us. And if we're talking about general, I can tell you that we've run with the hyper casual and casual games mostly, and for them we need to check retention, we need to check playtime, we need to check amount of session that they add on the games with the ads inside. But if we dive deeply a little bit in retention, so this is one of the main metrics, it needs to be about not less than 20% for day 0, about 7 to 5 if we're talking about day 7, and of course the users need to be in the end of the game. If we're talking about day 30, it's need to be 3, probably 2%. If you have higher metrics, that will be more even better. If we're talking about the playtime, of course it depends on the genre, and it depends on the game. And again, if we're talking about casual and hyper casual games, it needs to be not less than 7 to 10 minutes during one session. User needs to be attend and to play with the game. If your game is our monetization only with the ads, of course you need to show them as much as possible ads to earn your money back. And approximately it's about 5 to 7 ads in the game. But again, what kind of ads do you have inside of the game? If we're talking about interstitial, it's about 7. If we're talking about interstitial and a rewarded video, it's again 5 to 7. It might be 5 interstitial or 2 rewarded. And if you have banner game, of course you can calculate it, and it will increase your LTV. But usually when you have the banner, it's bothering the users, do not really like it. But again, if you still keep it, it's about increase increase your LTV for 10%. So I would like to tell you that Tenjin was our first MMP that we started to work with, and we're really happy with. So before we do the all marketing in PSV, we run the user acquisition only with the Google Ads and Firebase. Now we grow so fast, and of course we use the different user acquisition channel. And for example, I would like to show you when we get some games who came for publishing for us, we start the user acquisition test. This is not a big amount. This is the small amount for, let's say, $150 to $200 per one channel. But again, here you see the spend. What we run, this is the good example. So this is quite fresh test that we run with Mintograph. And here in Tenjin, we've seen some data that we get from the Tenjin and how we can focus on the user acquisition campaign when we run the test. For example, if we have any company that want to do the publishing for us and we check all games metric, we run the user acquisition test. For the user acquisition test, our analytics team calculates the main KPI for this genre of game, for this type of game. And we know, for example, that our main KPI for this specific games that I show you right now is 67% gross revenue need to return for day 0. If you see, the test here is successful because the number of day 0 of total ad mediation ROAS is much higher. According to this, we understand that we're able to increase the metric, we're able to run with the user acquisition campaign, and we're able to add new channel here. So yeah, we start to build our own analytics, I guess 1 year ago, and Tenjin provide us with raw data and data vault. It's like printing tools that help for our analytics team to build the all metrics and all KPIs for each game, for each platform, for separate geo. So basically how we work with that, we grab all historical data that came from Tenjin, and we see the all behaviors that user have in the game during the whole period. For example, for the last 30 days, for the last 90 days, for the last 120 days. And we build our own dashboard on that data. Yeah, this is really interesting tools for us as well. With Tenjin, we built the new reports that I will show you. So as you know, we work with our own monetization CAS.AI. Of course, we start to use all impression level data. So what is that and how it works? For example, if we show one ads in the game to the users, definitely we know who provide us with these ads, who was the main source that they show users the ads in the game. And here I prepare some small report for you as well. It's called revenue. Here on the dashboard you're able to choose different type of reports. Right now we are looking for the revenue reports, and on level users data we're able to see the all revenue that come from the different type of ads that we have in our mediation platform. They also, all of them are integrated to CAS, and here in dashboard you're able to see the whole metrics we've built on the Tenjin reports. As I mentioned before, the Tenjin was our first and single source and MMP that we work with. Since we start the whole user acquisition and the whole marketing, we boost a lot, and the different type of breakdown the level help us to increase user acquisition. For example, here also I will show you some example. You're able to see the one games through the different type of channels, and if you divide deeply, you will see how we can break the all levels, how we can break the one sources by campaign and by geo and by sources. The Tenjin also help us to break down the reports and to see how we can scale specific geo, how we can scale specific apps in our games, the publishers, I mean, what is the best or worst publisher for us, what we need to boost and what we need to pause. I like about Tenjin that it's really easy to build any report as you like, and you're able to break data and easily to work with the user acquisition part. For example, for one of my team, the user acquisition team, we used to work with the overview reports. I will show you right now how we work and how we build a couple of reports. Here, you're able to build any reports you need. For example, we work with the overview here, and you're able to break data and group it by channel, campaign, user acquisition campaign, country. Here, you're able to see the country. I break down by countries, and if you go with the spend or any other metrics that I showed you before, for example, day 0, and you're able to see which campaign and which geo is the strongest one, and you're able to get more users from that geo, and you're able to scale it up. So yeah, in our PSV game studio, as I mentioned before, we have like our own teams that work with the Tenjin, for example, user acquisition, for example, analytics, and I will show you right now how to easy way to provide the whole access to our own teams. So here are the PSV settings, and you're able to see the name with the email. And here, if we're talking about our own employees and coworkers, so we're able to provide with the different type of level of access to our own coworkers. For example, if we're talking about analytics, so we provide them administration account level, and they able to build any dashboards, to have the raw data, and so on. Again, as you've mentioned before, we work as the publishers, and of course the people who came for publishers for us also want to check the data by themselves, and it's really good for us that we're able to provide with the access. For example, here you're able to see we also give the type of any administration level account, and here we're able to provide the access to the apps only for one publishers that came to us. So, and the main things for us, so the different publishers are not able to see the whole dashboards, and they able to see only their own games and build the reports for themselves. And sometimes we also help to build the reports for them, to show how the Tenjin works, to show how they calculate data, to see the data, how they break down the data, and so on. I will recommend Tenjin to the same publisher as we are, because it's the easiest way to work, and it's great access to give the separate access for each publishers. And of course, for the publishers who has the game with the both hybrid and in-apps monetization, who had the ads in the game and who do the all purchase. Thank you so much for having me today for the interview. It was really interesting, and I believe for our viewers, it also will be interesting information and helpful. And I want to mention, if any of who watch us and know us want to do the publishing or interested how to scale this business, they can reach me out and come for publishing to us and for mediation part as well. And of course, use the Tenjin. It's really easy and a really great tool that help to grow the business.